Kelly Stewart to the stage.
Hello Cascades! Right, I'm here today to demonstrate a variety of cake craft demos. So we have got cake pops, we have cupcakes, and I'm going to invite people to come up the stage from time to time and actually to come and decorate them. I've got a certain lady who's already looking at me on that one, wink wink. I'm also going to be wiring up some flowers as well, so you can finish them off on this cake. Okay, we laced it earlier, and I'm just going to finish it off with a little bit of flowers, just so you can see what it looks like. Now, I run workshops. It's one of the things that I do, and I show people how to create these things. So, to start off with, cake pops. I'm going to dip and decorate these, and so they look like, in fact, if I go and get my demonstration ones, you can have a better idea. I'll show them in front of John. Right. We have here my version of Fab Lollies and Magnums. Here we are. I did some of these earlier, but I had a few faces that kept saying, I would like some of those as well. I'm going to hand them out later on. So this is what they look like. You've got your Fab Lollies, okay? And for the big kids, Magnums, pop format, okay? So I'm going to just show you, I've already made the bases to them, but I'm just going to dip them, cover them, and then when they're set, if you're good, I might hand you out one, okay? So just put these to one side for now, pop those in the middle, get them out of the way, and I'm going to start by dipping them in chocolate. Now, I've got two different chocolates here. We've got white chocolate, and this one is a plain chocolate, okay? Lovely, runny chocolate, lots and lots of chocolate. Food for the soul. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dip these ones. These are my Fab Lollies. So move that one out of the way just for a minute. Just get them covered. And then once these are set, later on, I'm going to come back and dip them in half a layer of that plain chocolate and some sprinkles just to finish them off, okay? Once they're dry, as I say, I'll hand them out, okay? And tell me what you think of them. So, give them a good tap. Here we are. Now I'm also giving away today a free workshop voucher, because one of the main things that I do, which you'll probably see on these banners here, is that I run workshops. So I teach people to do a whole variety of different cake skills, whether it be macarons, icing cakes, novelty cakes, roses, pretty much you name it, I do it. So if you'd like to apply, all you need to do is speak to the little desk there and you can put your name down, alright? Now, let's get these dipped. Just tap off the excess so you haven't got too much on there. And then I'll do those plain ones and we'll come back to them later, like I said. So, here we go. Give them a little tap, smooth them out, let them set. Now these are nice and cold, these have been in the fridge. And the idea being is because they're cold, they help them to set, okay? Now, put that to one side, swap it over, round two. Okay, here we are. Let's get these out, put them so John can see them. Dip in the chocolate, you see this is a lot runnier. Okay, there, see? Lovely. There is something about dipping into chocolate that's bliss. When I do my classes and I do the cake pop classes, without fail, every time when we dip in the chocolate, everyone goes, woo! There we are. So, leave that there, dip the others, let them set, and as I say, I'll come back to them once they've sort of set. If you look at this one, it's already beginning to set, so don't go off quite quickly. Okay, so we'll do all four of these, so there's plenty to go around. There we are, give them a good dip, a good pat, tap, smooth them out. There we are. Now these ones have got a little groove in them, and I'm going to put some white chocolate there later, and it looks like someone's taken a bite out of them. It's my slightly sister sense of humour. I like it, it's great fun. So, give them a good dip, cover them, nearly done. There. Okay, you've got a good layer of chocolate on those, I tell you. Right, stick them to one side, move them slightly out of camera shots. And I'll come back to that with my sprinkles. Right, next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to wire up a flour. Now these are incredibly thin and delicate. You use a very special paste to make them up, okay? So it's quite different to the paste that you would cover a cake with. Roll it very thin and very fine. But if you know how to do it, it can look stunning. But the good thing is you can make it up way in advance, put it together, and then pop it on once you've iced your cake. So it's a good way of preparing, getting everything done, rather than doing it all last minute, which quite frankly is far too stressful for my liking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out 4 of these petals, and each of them have got a wire in them, okay? So when it's all put together, I could bend them if you wanted to, make it open or closed. So what I need to do is I have to get some very peculiar stuff. In the old day, it's called stem text, which sounds rather ominous. But we just call it floristry tape these days. So what I'm going to do is just cut some lengths. And I'm going to just cut it all the way down the length. And the trickiest bit is actually getting it started. So in the middle, I'm going to put these, which are like stamens, slap bang in the middle of a flower you see sometimes. So what I do is just wrap my tape and sort of get it going so it's sort of stuck and gripping. And then very slowly, I'm going to add these. So bend it back and stick it on. And the first 4 that I'm using are quite cut, okay? Which gives a really nice effect. Just wrap it round a few times. Get another one. Now, if I put this to the camera, John can see a bit more clearly. They've actually got some colour on them, which you can do, and they're just stunning. When you put it together, it really makes them look the bee's knees. So I'm just going to put one on here and then one the other side, like so. Okay. And then I'm going to put 2 sort of either side of that. So, okay. And I'm going to put one the other side. This looks like a nice cupped one. There, like that. Just bend my wire slightly and step it out. There. Okay. See if we can get one that's a little less cupped. Yeah, that one. There we go. That's better. Wrap it round and get it quite tight right up against the petal bases. Okay, you can play around with these and wiggle them about, and you really will be amazed at what you can create. It's quite amazing. There. Last one. Here, this is the most difficult one, because you've got to fit it in between all the others. Wrap it round, like that. Get a nice covering of tape all the way along it, so this is where it really matters. So wind it down. Now I don't need all these wires. I'll just had them on so I could get them into place. Okay. So I'm just going to snip off what I don't need. Just do it away from the cake pots. And I just wrap this last bit of tape around, like so. And then it can go on. That's it. I've got hot hands. There we are. There we go. And then I'm going to bend it, and I've got a special tool which is basically kind of like a pair of tweezers, alright? And I'm going to pop it onto my cake. So if I bring my cake here, there we are, and I'm going to pop it into my cake. This is the bit I don't like doing. I always get a bit nervous about this bit. So just see if that's too long or not. Oh yes, here we go. Now I'll turn this round and then you can all have a look. There. And you can see what it looks like. Okay. Alright, this is what's so good about the wired ones, is that even they're a little bit fiddly, you don't have to do lots and lots of them. Just one piece can look very, very effective indeed. So I'm going to put that back up there so I don't knock it, have been known, and just leave it be, step away from the cake jelly. And I'm going to go on. These are nearly set, so I think one more demonstration, then we can come back to those. And I'm going to do my pipe buttercream swirls. Now I know that there was a certain lady in front of me that was quite interested in doing the cat buttercream swirls. Yes. What's your name, lovely? Francesca. Nice to meet you, Francesca. Do you want to come this side? Is that all right? Okay. What I'm going to do is just going to give you a tiny bit of gel. You know, have to tick that box. Don't need very much. In fact, I think I'm going to do my hands as well at the same time, just to make sure. And in here, I've got some buttercream. Hopefully not too soft under these lights. We'll soon see. Otherwise, it would be a rather runny swirl. And I've got here a cupcake that we did earlier. All right. So this is what it's going to look like. I don't know if you can see under that camera. Can you see that on the screen, girls? Yeah, fantastic. All right. So we'll leave that to one side. And here we have got some daisies and some leaves, which I made earlier. All right. Bit of a Blue Peter moment going on here. Right. So that's your one. This is my one. So the first thing we're going to do is actually cover it in our curly swirly buttercream. So if you grab your one, okay, what you have to do is actually twist the bag quite a few times. The tighter it is, the more pressure, it's easy to squeeze it out. The bag does half the work for you, quite frankly. Right, and what we need to do is treat it like the ice cream van. You know the ice cream and the nozzle that it comes out of, it's exactly the same shape. So what we've got to do is keep it facing, can you see how it's pointing straight down? Perfect. 2 fingers from the other hand, so dib, dib, dob, dob. Just 2 fingers, otherwise you warm up the buttercream too much. And also, you can't see where you're going. Not good. And what we need to do, so we pull this forward so everyone can see it. Here we are. What we're going to do, you and I are going to mirror each other. So watch, if I just watch, so give it a good squirt in the centre, come up a bit higher, and then work it out very slowly, and very slowly walk round. And you can move on once you sort of feel that area. Does that make sense? Yeah? And then when you get to the end, just stop squeezing and pull away. Mine's got we've both got a serious amount of buttercream on there. Job done. Right, so twist the bag, and what we do, look, I'll pop it, you pop yours back in there, and I'll pop mine in here. Lovely, I'll stick that to one side. Right, next thing. I like this stuff, this is good. Now, you know those flowers on here, they were sort of coloured right at the base with a bit of powder. You can buy that powder, but you don't have to use it just for flowers. You can add caster sugar to it, and you can use it to sort of decorate and embellish your cupcakes. Okay, it's quite effective. Now, we are going to put our cupcakes, if you grab your one as well, I'm going to pop it slap bang in the middle of our bowls. Lovely. Open your jar. Stick. Right, so if I show you, okay, just a tiny tip of the teaspoon, okay, and just give it a bit of a tap. You've got to do it quite high. And what you can do is you can sort of tint and shade your cupcakes. So if you've got plain buttercream, you can put pink sort of powder on, and it looks really pretty, really, really pretty. So I'm making mine quite lemony yellow. Okay, do the same with yours. You do it how you like. In the end, it's your cupcake, all right? And whilst you're doing that, what I'm going to do is just grab these and put these in the middle. Right, and to really show off, because we are exactly got to show off today, where we stopped piping, where we sort of pulled away, so you grab a leaf as well, you put your leaf in at a little jaunty angle, look, like that, very sassy indeed. Grab a daisy, I love these are so quick to do, but they're great, they're just cute, I like them. And look, pop them just at the base of your leaf, sort of on the hip of the cake, fabulous, and you have your cupcake. Give her a clap, everybody. You've done very, very well indeed. Right, what I'm going to do is just move these to one side, clear the decks a little bit. I'm going to get my cake pops and just show you how to decorate these up. So, who likes Magnum lollies? Very guilty as charged with that one. It's a very quick hand up over here. So what I'm going to do is make them look like that with a little bite taken out, okay? Very effective, quite funny, quite witty, which I like. I do have a bit of a sixth sense of humour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of the white chocolate, and very carefully I'm just going to put some on the sort of corner, that curve of the cake pop. And it looks like somebody's taken a bite out of it. Yeah, like the ice cream inside, like? So, yeah. Right, there we go. Stick that in there, put those to one side. And then, who likes Fab Lice lollies? Basically, I like sweet things, you noticed. Hence the reason I do what I do. So, got the chocolates. So we've got our sort of bits and pieces we need for it. What I'm going to do is dip them in the chocolates, like so. Give it a good tap, so it's not too much chocolate. So I don't want it running down my hand, it's not good. This cheeky face down here. And then, Hopefully that's not too much chocolate, we'll see. I'm just going to dip it in the sprinkles. Yay! I was saying earlier, do you know, I have a whole cupboard full of sprinkles. That is serious amount of sprinkles on there. Look at that. There we go. Yeah, I do. I have lots and lots and lots of sprinkles. Slightly too much chocolate, but hey. Doesn't matter, yeah. More chocolate, fine. Right. Give it a dip, give it a good tap. Make sure we get plenty of the chocolate off. So I think we are having a bit of a runny chocolate day. And then pop it in the sprinkles and you've got your fab lolly. So I'm just going to stick those to one side. Okay, just pop them down, just let them set. Okay, so once they're set, I promise I will hand them out. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I make up very simple little roll-up roses. Now there are several ways to do it, but this is quite a quick way of doing them. So once you've got it, it's like riding a bike, you never forget. But they are so effective. And if you suffer from hot hands, which I know some people do, this is particularly good for you. Okay, now what I need for this is I need some paste, which is in front of my nose. And another thing I need, which is quite strange, is a plastic bag. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work this paste so it's nice and smooth. Okay, and I'm going to get some icing sugar. I like that, that's a bit snazzy. There we are. There we are. Give it a little knead. And I'm going to roll it into a sort of sausage shape. You see that? You see that on the screen? Yeah? Can you see that? Yeah. I'm going to put it in my bag. Okay. And I'm going to press on it. And flatten it just on one side, all the way down one side. Like so. I'm going to take it out of the bag, like that, and I'm going to roll it up. So watch. Roll it up. Can we see this? Because I can't tell whether you can see this. Can you see this? Okay. So look, roll. Can you see that? You see what's happening? Yeah. And when I'm happy with the size of it, I'm going to stop. Okay. Take away what I don't need. And I'm going to get a very sharp knife. So, adult only job, as they say. And I'm going to just cut the underside. So it's nice and flat, without touching it, otherwise you squish it. Something I have to say in class sometimes. They're so excited about the road, and they pick it up and they go, I go, no! So I'm going to very carefully pop it into there and leave it there. Okay? So I'm going to make 6 of these, and then to finish off, I'm going to cap some cupcakes. See how this one's been capped? Yeah? I'm going to put the roses on them with a little leaf. We'll pipe people's names on them, okay? Or anything you like. Not rude, please. Now this stuff dries very quickly, so whatever you don't use, you need to put it away quickly, smart. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some cupcakes here and I'm going to cap them in some icing. And once I've capped them, we'll put the roses on and the leaves. And you can choose what you like to have written. So I say, nothing rude, please, troops. Right, don't put me on the spot. So, pink icing first. So, pink, blue, you know, boys and girls. What I'm going to do is I'm going to knead this because you've got to make it smooth first. It's got cracks in it, it's not the same. And I'm going to put a little bit of the old icing sugar. It's in our house, fairy dust, as it's called. Anyone comes to workshop, they know it's called fairy dust. It's like the fairies been in town. Right. Rolling pin, can't do it without that. I'm just going to keep lifting it. So I've learned very quickly that if you don't, you roll it and then find it stuck to the worktop, which is not good. So, been there many a time. So, and then what I'm going to do is I've got a nice disc cutter here, okay? I'm going to use that to just cut out some shapes that are going to cover perfectly these cupcakes, alright? So, I would say that's about right. You don't want it too thick, because nobody wants to eat a wad of icing, to be honest. We've all had that cake when it's like that thick. It's not nice, is it? No. So, here we go. Cut out 3. I'm going to just take away what I don't need and stick it in my food bag, which is here. There we are. Cover that up. And then what I need is something to stick it with. So for that we need buttercream, which is in front of me somewhere. I'm looking at it. It is, where's my buttercream gone? Oh, there. There we are, look. I'll take my tablets today, obviously. Couldn't see for looking. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put, can you see how I've covered them once already? I don't want them to dry out. I don't want you eating the dry cupcake. So I just put a tiny bit of buttercream on last night. But what I'm going to do is just put a tiny bit more, and I do mean a tiny amount. So we've got something that will help the icing to actually stick to the cupcakes, alright? Here we go. So I'm going to do 3 of these now, alright? Like so. And then very quickly, I'm going to put my icing on. 1, so I'm wearing it, that's a surprise. There we go. 1. You fascinated. There we go. Yeah, well, my assistant of the future. Oh, he's cute. Right, there we are. And what I'm going to do, I don't like it sort of plonked on. I'm just going to soften the edges a bit. So what I'm going to do is get my finger, almost like it's a brush it down the sides, and what it does is it creates a nice curved edge. Makes them look nice and rounded. Can you see that? Can you see how it's sort of rounded on the sides? Okay. And then what I'm going to do, it doesn't take very long to do this, literally about 30 seconds. I'm going to use one of these, which is called a buffer, and I'm going to rock it round the cupcake. You see how it makes a nice sort of smooth surface. You see that? Okay. Do the same with the others, as I say. It takes nothing to do it, but it makes such a difference to how they look. Okay. And again, it's sort of something that I teach. All right, a little bit of finesse, a little bit of style. Alright, so I'm going to go round, do that. And what I'll do is I'll roll out and cap the blue ones as well. And then you can come up and choose what you'd like to have heights on there. I'm going to pick somebody. What's your name? Yeah? What's your name? Sarah. Oh, I know that name. It's a bit of a dodgy name, as my mate's called that. I'm only teasing. That's my middle name as well. Right. It's a blue one, darling. Yeah. Here we are. You got super curly, whirly, swirly stuff on here. Here we go. There we are. I'm going to come and get your cupcake. Would you like it in a goodie bag? Yes, please. Okay. There we are. Okay. Hello, little friends. Hello. Big and tough. There we are.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Bye, kids. Right, okay. I have now finished. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. And I'm glad you've all come to Cascades today. Thank you. Goodbye.